wants to be a mannequin.
How are you doing as I check our connection? A couple messages for the viewers, so pick a section, have a seat. Yeah, I know this is different, quit with the questions. Allow me a second, please, to make my first impression.
YouTube, what's up? Welcome back to another 978 custom video. And right now we have the Venom Wave Carnage action figure. I will say this is a cool looking figure. It is kind of like a passable if you already have Carnage, but then again, it is an upgrade to the previous Carnage, so you probably shouldn't pass on this figure. But there's a side image and all the other figures you'll need to build Monster Venom. Just thought I'd point this out. You guys ever notice how on the Venom Wave, all of these images kind of look the same? Left hand down, right hand up, mouth open. I just thought it was kind of lazy. It's almost like they had a copy and paste template and then filled it with the desired character. Cletus Cassidy, the madman, the murderer, the evil Carnage. Man, this guy has always been one of my favorite Spider-Man villains. I remember the first time I played Maximum Carnage on the Super Nintendo, and the cartridge itself was red, and it stood out among the rest of the games. And it wasn't that great of a game, I don't think. It was a cool game, but it wasn't the greatest. But anyway, back to the figure. This figure is the exact same, more or less, of the Carnage released during the Hobgoblin wave, the Ultimate Hobgoblin, I believe. It was this one. It was Toxin, the Amazing Spider-Man, Electro, Black Cat, I believe, and a few others. But I remember seeing this wave early on when I first started collecting, and I couldn't get Carnage and I couldn't get Toxin. They were sold out everywhere. Toxin, I ended up buying at a comic shop for like $45, which was, whoa, way overpriced. Carnage was no exception. He also was climbing up those money charts, and he was becoming a very expensive figure because there was only one of him. And he did have issues. He had some loose hips. A lot of people were reporting loose hips, even myself. It wasn't a deal breaker though, considering it was the only recent Carnage I can get for Marvel Legends. Unless I wanted to get this Marvel Select, which is an amazing figure as well, but it was just too tall and it was too detailed. It just doesn't fit the Legends line, so I couldn't do that. The Carnage release then also had no accessories. He only had the tendrils that connected to the peg in his back, the peg hole. Where this one, you get some hands. These are actually the hands that came with the previous figure. But then you get the axe hand that you see him equipped with and the bigger hand. And you get this Beavis head. Look at that. Who knew that Marvel and MTV were united? No, I'm just talking junk. It does look like Cletus Cassidy from the cartoon series, from the Spider-Man cartoon. So it's a good head sculpt. Much better than the Eddie Brock head we got in the same wave. Looks pretty good. The hair's curly. No shading in the hair. No shading in the face. But he does look a little crazy. And it fits the profile of Cletus Cassidy. And so it's good enough. It's definitely good enough. If I may give you a quick comparison of the old Carnage and the new Carnage being on the left, old one being on the right. Let me put these accessories next to them so you can better identify them. Cletus' head goes with the left guy. And these hands are the same exact hands as the old Carnage. You see they just gave it to the new one as interchangeable hands, which is a plus. I'm happy they did that. So that's good. That's what's good about this new figure. The extra accessories. The axe hand, the bigger hand, and then the head. But here's my old Cletus head sculpt transforming into Carnage. This was a Dirk Angler. So, yep. Which I think was pretty cool for the time, too. I never really used it. I made it and then put this figure away. Never displayed him or anything like that. Oh, well. A couple differences from the old to the new. You see on the right, the hips are very wiggly. On the one on the left, are very sturdy. And that's a quick fix they did. I think a lot of Carnages had that problem with the hips. So no matter how you balance him, he's always going to want to tip over because he's just not sturdy. So they did fix that, and that's a plus. The eyes on the new one are white, so they look really clean. That looks awesome. But this wiggly hip thing was pretty bad in the beginning. They had a few Bucky Cat bodies that did this. It wasn't just Carnage, but Carnage mainly had it. Paint deco, this one's pretty cool. It's just a nice glossy red. If you want to compare them both, The old one has a gloss red and black, and the eyes are like a metallic white, where the new one has a metallic red with a nice flat white look for the eyes. You can see the tendrils are same exact sculpt, same exact figures, except the eyes are done different. I like the eyes on the new one, to be honest. And no, I don't have a fake Carnage because the eyes are silver. They're not silver, they are a whitish silver. More white than the bootleg, because the bootleg one had like dark silver eyes. Just want to point that out. But they are the same figure, so I will say it is a pleasant upgrade to a degree, minus these shoulder joints. You see these arm joints right here? This is the problem I find the most from this figure. Same thing with the Deadpool, the X-Force. I don't know why they're switching the shoulder joints like that. Are they trying to hide the joint? Is that what it is? So they add more plastic above the joint, which kind of hinders the articulation. I wonder. Because why would you fix something that works? It doesn't make any sense. You make it work less. I just don't get it. A lot of people don't have this problem. A lot of people think that this isn't even an issue. For me, it's an issue because I do like my articulation, and I don't want them to take away the little range that we already get. And these are both of the figures with their arms extended up as much as possible. Oh, that kind of sounds like the opposite of both feet flat on the floor. I miss Glenn, man. Shout out to Glenn Webb. But yeah, man, I don't know. It's not that big of a deal. It's not a deal breaker, but I do prefer the older articulation. The head does go up, down, left, and right. You can lift this arm a little bit. If you want to force it, you can get it a little higher, but you will kind of chip away at the plastic. But it's your choice. Arms do go around. You get the bicep swivel. You get double jointed elbows, wrist hinge, and swivel as well. You get this ab crunch that works pretty good. Swivel at the waist. Thighs go that much. Not wobbly at the thighs. You get a thigh cut, double jointed knees, ankle pivot, and hinge. Pretty much standard articulation. Lastly, I wanted to kind of compare these two heads, the Dirk Angler and the new Cletus Cassidy head. I feel like they both have similarities. They have a deranged look and the red hair. So Carnage from the Venom Wave, I will say it is a nice figure, and I will also say it's a must-have if you don't have Carnage. If you weren't able to get Carnage then, because he did go up in price, I do recommend you to pick up this Carnage. The packaging is beautiful. I will say this is probably the prettiest packaging Marvel Legends has created, even though this has slackage on it with the side images, but it is beautiful nonetheless. So I do recommend it. If you guys like this video and you want to see more Spider-Man reviews and customs, feel free to hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more stuff, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks.
But if you choose to subscribe, you the man. Yes, you. Everyone below in the comments, yes, you too. Thank you very much for showing me love. Who knew? It's ironic how we think out the box for you too, right?